I'm not black. I'm an African. Just because I was born here doesn't make me black, yeah? The context in which black exists, for me, black power is an oxymoron.
My top black heroes, this is a really interesting one because obviously you have to figure it out. One, I'm going to say Muhammad Ali. And I'm going to say, the reason why I'm going to say that is because basically, for the time that he came from, for the job and profession that he has, which is so ego-based, for him to actually actively represent and shine in the media and be a beacon of black excellence and actually have some sort of integrity is something that is so rare.
Because all that black tells me is that I am at the bottom rung of society. You don't get yellow people. You don't refer to Japanese or Korean people as yellow. Why is it that Africans are referred to as black? I have a problem with that personally. I use the term because it's a familiar term. Anybody that's got a problem with me using the term, yo, my nigga, what's up? They best have a problem with being called black as well.
If I had to talk about women who have inspired me and who have actually made me the man I am, have helped shape my consciousness, I want to start with Harriet Tubman, simply because she had a vision, and she took that vision and made it into reality. And that vision was to free us. It's kind of like one of those sci-fi films like The Matrix. I love The Matrix, and you know, she could have just freed herself, escaped, and ended the story, but she didn't. She used her energy, her spirit, her intellect, her resourcefulness to free as many of us as possible. And you know, I look at the time that was taking place, and we have to respect and admire the challenges that she faced, the threats to her life that she took, that she continued to do it. So Harriet Tubman is clearly one.
Now, back when he was boxing, and for me, the finest heavyweight was at the time when he was boxing, do you know that Lennox Lewis gave away a greater proportion of his money? This is as a millionaire, right? A greater proportion of his money than any other millionaire in England. He put £1 million into a tech college in Hackney in order to help young black kids. He talks, and one of the things he says, and I try to tell the people when I'm talking on the radio station, that he said the greatest education that any kid can have is to travel. Because when you travel, you see different people, you see the way they live, how they survive, what we think is important, which is not important to them.
I would say that the story of Black London is a complicated one, because the history is not as well known and has not been made as public through film, TV, and even books to the same degree as other parts of the African story. It is more a collage, you know. So whether we're talking about the Africans that fought on the side of the British in the American Civil War, got their freedom here, made an impact here, freedom, you know, intermarried here because it was mostly men. That's one story. Those people impacted London in a particular way. Whether we talk about Alada Equiano or Ignatius Sancho, you know, that era is another era. They've made an impact and a contribution. Whether we talk about the fact that the Pan-African conferences, all right, the first one was in Manchester, but then there was the one in London. But that was Africans from all over the diaspora converging on London. And then we talk about the Windrush generation onwards, where you have people like Michael X pop out of the fold. You have people like Brother Gus John pop out of the fold. You have people that I work with now, you know, people like Sister Esther Stanford pop out of the fold. Brothers like Toya pop out of the fold, who within the community in their own right are the people doing the work that needs to be done to contribute to an identity and a story within our community. Here, but obviously, I mean, Bob was here for a while. I don't know if that makes him a London icon, but Exodus was recorded.
Black history is your history, our history,